Everyone, my name is Zach and today I'm going to be doing a collaboration with a guy called Jay. In this video I'm going to be asking Jay some questions and he's going to be speaking about his experience with transitioning socially. His video is going to be the same but the exact opposite, so you can find out stuff about me if you go look at his video. Like, go! Do you think that transitioning younger is harder / more complicated?
Yeah, definitely. I think it can be. Especially when you're sort of under 16, it can be a lot harder for the person transitioning and the parents or the family because they're not seen as completely mature and they're not an adult. And I think when people don't completely understand, it's sort of put down to it's a phase, or you get responses like you can't know yet, you're too young, or you'll grow out of it, stuff like that.
How did you pick your name, and do you have any advice for anyone else who's picking their name?
The way I picked my name was nice and boring. I used to just always like that name since I was young. I used to call my toys Jayden, and I wanted that name but I felt that I couldn't because I was a girl, so it was basically already picked. I think in terms of advice for other people, I'd say definitely make sure that you're happy with a name before you change it legally. And you can always play around with a few names. Have people call you by one name for a little bit, and if you don't feel that it's right and it doesn't really fit you, try out another one. A lot of people do it that way, and I think it's quite a good way to do it actually, because you actually get to see what it's like with people who are going to be calling you that. So if you had it changed legally, that's what people would call you all the time. And also, don't let other people affect your choices too much, and don't let them sort of push you into having a name that you don't really like that much, because at the end of the day, it's your name, not theirs.
How did you come out to your family, and did you find it difficult?
So the plan was to come out like a normal person and talk to my parents, but it didn't exactly happen that way. I was all ready, I was pumped up, I had no worries, I knew exactly what I was going to say until we sat down and they just went, go on then, and I sort of just froze up. So I actually ended up texting my mum just 2 words. I just put, I'm transgender. She showed the phone to my dad and we just started speaking from there. I really didn't think that I was going to find it difficult. Obviously it was a big decision to make, and that was more in terms of how other people were going to see me, because I know my family's really supportive. I think it was just the initial actually saying it and the fear of what might come, even though, you know, it was a big thing. And then my mum pretty much came out to the rest of the family for me, so I didn't even have to do that. So some of the close family sort of have a day to gather around at my nan's, and that just so happened to be the day after that I came out. So my mum just basically told them, and they all started trying to use Jay and Jayden and he, him pronouns from them.
How did people around you adjust to calling you by your new name and by he/him pronouns?
My family did really well with the new name and pronouns, which was cool. Obviously there were a lot of slip-ups, and there still are a few slip-ups occasionally, but now they know to, like, when they say birth name, just say Jay and then carry on with the conversation rather than like stopping and go, oh sorry I meant Jay, before they start talking again, making a big deal out of it. I definitely think the kids were the best at it in the beginning, but that's just because the rest of my family have been calling me by my birth name for 17 years, so it took a lot more to adjust to that. Whereas like my young cousins are like 3, 5, 8, 11 and 13. So it's not as long that they've been calling me by my birth name, so it was easier to adjust to it. But yeah, they all took it on board straight away, tried the best, and they did pretty well.
Do you think that you've gained more confidence since coming out?
I definitely feel more confident, because I'm not worried about seeming too manly and then trying to sort of over-feminize myself and not do certain things and talk in a certain way. Because I know I have quite a deep voice, so I used to like try and make my voice sound a little bit higher, a little bit sort of girlier. Plus, after coming out, I've started binding and packing and wearing men's clothes 24/7, so I felt a lot more confident in the way that I looked as well. And I just feel better in general because I'm actually being me now rather than trying to sort of be someone who everyone thought I was, you know?
What are you most looking forward to in your transition?
I want to say testosterone, because that is the next step and it's sort of closest, but probably top surgery, because I won't have to bind anymore. I can walk around shirtless and I can get tattoos on my torso.
Do you have any regrets so far in your transition?
I don't think I'd call it a regret, but I think I would have liked to have come out a little bit sooner, because I'd be further along with like waiting and stuff, and I could have been seen by the Tavistock clinic. I was about 5 months off of turning 18 when I came out, so when it came to being referred, I was too old for the children's clinics and too young for the adults clinics. So I had to wait until my 18th birthday to put on an adult waiting list, which sucked because it's like it felt like I was waiting to start waiting. But yeah, everything happens for a reason, and I think if I'd have come out, my life could have been different, and I'm definitely happy with how life is now, so I guess I wouldn't be where I am now.
If you could say one thing to someone who's just starting off transitioning, what would it be?
Don't be discouraged if people don't start using your new name and pronouns all of the time straight away. It takes time to adjust, and it's a lot for people to take in and fully understand sometimes. Also, just be you. Don't try and change yourself to adjust to how people want you to be or how people expect you to be. If you want to change some things to be more like how you want to be, then that's you. Do it for yourself, don't do it for other people. And I just want to send some love, respect and luck to you all.
Hope you enjoyed that video with me and Jay, and Jay says some really interesting things, so check out his channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.